Welcome to today's channel. Netanyahu official statement. Israel's 7th Armored Brigade destroyed 450 targets in Gaza in one day. The Israeli Defense Forces confirmed that it carried out a drone strike in the Mount Dock area on the border with Lebanon late last night into the morning, and also confirmed that it struck targets in Syria in response to rocket fire on the Golan. Our team, which has been working all night to bring you the hot developments in the night and morning. Ours would like to express its gratitude to you for your support. The Israeli Defense Forces announced that it attacked more than 450 targets in the Gaza Strip last day, as ground operations continued. According to the IDF, these included military settlements, observation posts, and weapons depot. Troops of the 7th Armored Brigade led a large number of people in one of the most important developments of the day. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu issued a stern warning that if Hezbollah opens the second front in the war, we will turn Beirut into Gaza. Hours after Lebanon-based Hezbollah launched a missile attack on Israel on Thursday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned the Iranian-backed group that the Israeli army would turn Beirut into the Gaza Strip if Hezbollah dragged Israel into a full-fledged war. Netanyahu also said, "I am here with the reservists who have shown a great spirit to restore security not only in the south, but also in the north, to complete the work and to be ready for war. This is our commitment." With each passing day, Israel's terror campaign in the Gaza Strip propels Hamas into the annals of history. Hamas, which consisted of murderers on October 7th, is now completely outnumbered by 300,000 Israeli soldiers and an estimated 45,000 terrorists manning the Gaza Strip during the nearly week-long break. Terrorists, leaders, and those claiming to be with Hamas had time to regroup. The ground assaults, raids and capture and siege operations of the Israeli Defense Forces (IDF) have resumed with the ceasefire. Now that Israel has resumed its assault, Hamas must rely on its tunnel network once more. The tunnels beneath Gaza City have once again become hiding places for militants. Shifa and Indonesia both have some of the world's best hospitals. However, the Israeli Defense Forces severed the tunnel shafts and a few pathways leading to them after discovering a substantial portion of the network in these regions. Israeli naval, land and air forces are currently conducting an offensive campaign that has historically defeated Hamas's underground networks. Since the ground offensive began, the Israeli Defense Forces have reported discovering around 800 tunnel shafts in the Gaza Strip. The Israeli Defense Forces have sealed or destroyed 500 of these tunnels using large quantities of explosives. There are hundreds of kilometers worth of tunnels that the Israeli Defense Forces have destroyed. Many of these lengthy tunnels reportedly link Hamas assets. According to the Israeli Defense Forces, within these subterranean networks, authorities found a plethora of weapons and ammo, so getting military weapons is going to be really tough for Hamas. Hamas dug numerous tube shafts in or near public areas, including playgrounds, kindergartens, and schools. These results add to the evidence showing that the terrorist organization Hamas utilizes civilians as human shields and conceals its activities from the public, even in publicly owned buildings. Hamas has established its most essential and consequential headquarters on the lower level. All eyes are back on these Hamas offices, thanks to the IDF's attack activities. Newly revealed intelligence indicates that Israeli Defense Forces aircraft attacked many locations in Gaza linked to the terrorist group Hamas during the night. Depot of Armament Command Centers, tunnels, and other such locations were among these targets. The assaults decimated the northern and central Gaza Strip. Terror bases is run by Hamas. A drone piloted by 7th Armored Brigade soldiers caused the deaths of many Hamas terrorists, according to the Israeli military. In light of these critical developments, Hamas no longer enjoys the logistical advantages it once enjoyed in the northern and central parts of Gaza, the north and south of the Strip, or the morale boost and veil of secrecy provided by its network of tunnels. After considering this, the IDF decided to broaden its ground assault operations to encompass the southern borders of the northern Strip. The Israeli Defense Forces launched an aerial bombardment in southern Gaza using fighter jets after the ceasefire. The planned target of the assault was the supposed leadership and command headquarters of Hamas, which fighter jets were to destroy. Thus, Israel has already thwarted the implementation of the second stage of Hamas's escape plan, which involved fleeing to southern Gaza. Hamas is utilizing the passageway that terminates at Khan Yunis. Hamas may invade the Rafah settlement over time. More and more of this will become apparent. Preparations for a full-scale ground invasion in the southern Gaza Strip by the Israeli Defense Forces are another indication that the attacks and fighting will continue. Ronen Bar, a senior Israeli commander and head of internal security, criticized the issue. According to Ronen Bar, Israel will continue fighting until Hamas is eradicated globally, regardless of the duration. Mr. Bar is the head of Shin, the counterterrorism unit of Israel's internal security agency, so for Israel's upcoming aggressive actions, the remarks are quite important. All members and leaders of the terrorist group Hamas should be subject to global searches. According to Mr. Bar, it is worth noting this additional point despite promising to keep fighting furiously and destroy Hamas. Israeli authorities have been asked for a ceasefire. This group includes Qatar. Qatar's prime minister recently emphasized a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas on Sunday. Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman bin Qassim Al Thani, the prime minister and foreign minister of Qatar, met with U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken during a meeting with his mediators. Qatar's prime minister reaffirmed his country's dedication to finding a peaceful solution to the conflict in the area with the help of the United States. Qatar arranged an agreement last month among Israel, Hamas, and Egypt to transfer foreign nationals and severely wounded Palestinian civilians from Gaza to Egypt. Just a short while ago, this very topic was trending in the media over the weekend. An Egyptian border official reported that approximately 875 dual citizens crossed the Rafah crossing between Gaza and Egypt. 10071 Palestinians entered Egypt with dual citizenship. 13 were Turks and 17 were Americans. People from Egypt, South Africa, Germany, Canada, Australia, and Denmark are believed to reside in Rafah, a town in the southern Gaza Strip, in order to facilitate the ongoing liberation of people from Hamas operations. The Israeli Defense Forces have regularly issued evacuation orders to the residents of various locations. The Israeli Defense Forces have issued orders to evacuate a vast region, including numerous localities in the southern Gaza Strip, as they resume their military offensive. The southern Gazan city of Khan Yunis has become a haven for a great number of individuals in the past few weeks. Nonetheless, the IDF has issued an evacuation order for specific areas to the southeast of the city. Additionally, the same risks also impacted northern Gaza. As part of their evacuation strategy, the Israeli Defense Forces (IDF) ordered the evacuation of Zunshia Jabalia and the Old City of Gaza, separating Gaza into hundreds of numerical sections called evacuation zones. The Israeli Defense Forces created a new map of the territory following Hamas's social media claims that they had set up military infrastructure in certain regions. The Israeli Defense Forces (IDF) indicated they would use the map to warn residents to leave their homes. In its deceptive messaging, the terrorist group Hamas is capitalizing on Israel's attempts to shield Gazan residents. Hamas is portraying the IDF's evacuation efforts in a negative light. From a bird's-eye view of the conflict, it's easy to see that Hamas is to blame. The fact that Hamas has used the Gazan population as human shields is something that we have all seen, maybe hundreds of times. Hamas has killed helpless Gazans multiple times, and we have seen terrorists taking part in the fighting. Hamas has also sealed off several areas designated for evacuation. At these roadblocks, Hamas attacked Gazans attempting to escape, resulting in horrific human fatality. Do you agree that this is an issue? Using this data, it's easy to see who cares more about the people of Gaza than the others. As a result, you need to be wary of the false information that gets around on social media. The fact that Hamas is using the locals as pawns in their battle is a major problem. The number of tragic incidents like these will surely increase until the terrorist group totally withdraws from the Gaza Strip. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.